Hey, welcome to BlockRoots, where we give you crypto and Bitcoin market updates each and every week here on the YouTube channel. On behalf of Cantor and Clark, I am Josh, and we just want to say welcome. Glad to have you. Now, if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, we recommend that you do that because each and every week we like to give away $100 in Bitcoin to one person who subscribes and engages with our videos by commenting below. It's all you have to do is just comment. We do read our comments. Somebody asked us this week. Yes, we do like to read our comments. We don't answer every single one of them because we'd have to give, 100, 200 answers, hundreds of answers a week, right? But we do read them. They are important. So make sure that you engage, that you comment so that we can select one of you to be a $100 winner of Bitcoin, which we're going to do today, actually. So be on the lookout for that later in the video. Going to give away $100 of Bitcoin to one person who engaged this week. So stick around for that. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about this recent Bitcoin rally. We're going to go ahead and do that today. Now, we're going to give a bullish and bearish scenario, price levels of where we're looking at. We're also going to look at finally, it looks like more and more that Bitcoin is decoupling from the S&P 500 or the traditional stock markets. That's very important. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll also take a look at the best place or platform for crypto market exchange data, and we'll tell you why exactly. We're going to tell you about that too, and it's not an advertisement. This is certainly a platform that we use each and every day here at BlockRoots. But to go ahead and get started, if you haven't heard from our partner Phemex.trade is our link that you want to go to for this, but they are offering spot trading. If you go on other exchanges, you're going to be paying $50 to $150 per Bitcoin when you buy or sell one Bitcoin because of the fees. And many times you don't know that as somebody who holds. Now, if you're a trader, naturally, you're going to rack up thousands of dollars in fees, maybe even per month. Now, what you can do now is just pay $10 a month, and you can trade unlimited times, buy or sell, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or Chainlink for you Link Marines. No other platform has come out with this yet who has derivatives trading. So when you click on our link, when you use our link, you actually support our channel. That allows us to continue to give more and more free content each and every week. And by the way, we just want to say that we know that there's a lot of YouTube channels out there specifically with crypto assets and crypto market updates. And we always want to be a solid channel that you can come to get non-sensational information. And so thanks again for your time. Thanks again for your support. And we hope that we continue to provide that for you. Let's go ahead and talk about even more important things, which is the price of Bitcoin, right? So that's why you're here. Now, Bitcoin, yes, it's been in a rally ever since low 3,000s, which has been fantastic. But I want to go ahead and talk about, as we're stuck between 9K to 10K still, some bullish and bearish quote scenarios or things to look at. Now, if we zoom out, you're going to notice on the chart back from 2017, there's actually a trend line that has been forming. Now, you may say, Josh, but the price already broke above it. That's because if you're using candlestick charts, it's going to show that. But if you're using line charts that just show the price of the close, what you're going to notice is that this lines up pretty well with the peak highs for the past 6 times that it's touched it. Okay, so that's really important to look at. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket as saying just use one indicator and saying, well, this indicator says that it's the top, therefore it must be the top. That's not the case. Just know that this trend line has held for a long time. And so also, too, we've seen to have on the macro trend lower highs. And so that in the end can show us potential of a local top. And again, Bitcoin has been going up since early March. It's been on a tear. It's went up all the way to 10,300 or so. And so it does need to pull back. We finally have had a pullback from 10,000 down to around 8,400, and it's bounced since, but we're still below 10,000. So keep an eye on this trend line. You can just go to TradingView, click the line chart button, and you're going to be able to put it on there yourself. So just know that that's one thing that I'm taking a look at right now. Now, this is just one thing that I'm looking at. I mean, you have to take in consideration the economy, okay, has pulled back quite a bit. People don't have money to buy Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin has not performed very well post-halving. And so with those two things in mind, there's a combination of a few things fundamentally as well that make me think that this could be a potential top, and maybe we need to pull back before we continue to move on up, because eventually we have to break this. This is going to break eventually. We know on the long-term perspective of Bitcoin is going to continue to go up and very likely to hit new highs in our personal opinion. Nothing is financial advice if I didn't say that earlier. But the economy, with it being so low, how many retail investors do you know who are going to be putting a ton of money into Bitcoin? Unless you sell your house, which recently I saw somebody sold their house to put in money into Bitcoin, which is, I guess, great if that's what you want to do. Most people don't have the money to do that or the time or the risk, won't take the risk to do that. So just be aware, maybe by 2021, sometime in 2021, we'll see 20K in my personal opinion, maybe before. But that is a scenario to look out for. Now, as far as the stock market, and I talked about the economy pulling back, something that I recently talked about was the decoupling of Bitcoin from the S&P 500, or the stock market index, okay? So with that, we've seen since the bottom of the left here, this is a chart that I put on Twitter, so I'm not going to recreate this, but if you look at the very bottom left, that is the exact bottom of the stock market, okay? Not the exact bottom of Bitcoin, but the bottom of the stock market. And ever since then, Bitcoin has rallied 55% gains, and the stock market has rallied around 25% gains, which is really good still. 25% up is good. But as we can see, since April 27th, Bitcoin has really been on a tear, has rallied up past percentage-wise over the S&P 500, has moved back down, went up to almost 60%, moved back down, but has then since pushed back up. And so we see this decoupling happening, which is great, by the way, because you don't want the price of Bitcoin to be reliant on the stock market. And so Bitcoin never really has been heavily correlated with the stock market, but just understand that this is good when we see this. I tend to favor when Bitcoin will do its own thing and you don't have to worry about stocks. And so just be aware of that. Again, Bitcoin can be moved a little bit easier than stocks anyways, because it's a multi-billion-dollar market cap compared to trillions of dollars in the stock market. So just one thing to take an eye on. Now, what's a bullish scenario? Now, before we even get to that, let's go ahead and give away $100 of Bitcoin. And so that winner is going to be the one person who has commented over the past week. And that is Jeremy Arbid. And so very interesting analysis. Very interesting indeed, Jeremy. Hopefully it's good and you find it valuable. But again, thanks for that. We'll make sure to comment below this comment so that you can leave your Bitcoin address wallet so that we can send you $100 in Bitcoin this week. And again, if you want to win $100, just go ahead, comment on this video, make sure you subscribe, and we'll put you in that drawing. So as we move on, right, we want to talk about bullish scenarios with Bitcoin. And really it comes down to this. If I go ahead and release the gray boxes that I have had on here for maybe a couple of weeks now, just know that 95.50 is still the spot that we want to see. I would love to see the daily close above 95.50. Even the weekly would be even better. But the daily would be good to know that this is holding as support. But as far as where we want to see, if I go ahead and take this trend line, that was a high there. But I think that if we put it on the close, around 10,384, 10,386, something like that, was the previous close, the previous high. And that's where we know if price does go up and close above that on the daily or the weekly, and they continue to move on up, then we know that that's definitely a very bullish scenario where probably many people are going to start to buy in, because for that to happen, we see that this structure starts to change a little bit on the macro level. We're starting to see higher highs, and I think bigger players will want to buy in at that and maybe push it and keep it up in the 5-digit range between 10, 11K to 14K. So that's one area that we're looking at, whether you take the close or whether you take the previous high there. If price can move on up, that's where we want to see it close, and that would be a bullish scenario. Now, as far as bearish scenarios, again, we don't want to see it drop below 91.50. If that happens, if it does close below here, at least on the 4-hour, specifically on the daily, then it's probably going to move down to mid to low 8,000s and then make its way down here to 7,800. The same story, right? We've been ranging back and forth. This has been a nice thing to trade. But again, this is the area to watch. So I hope that you're watching 9150, 8500, and then down to 7800. If it goes lower than that, it does. We'll get there when price gets there. But until then, we don't want to look ahead too much because that becomes speculation. Okay? And so that's really what I want you to look out for as far as the bullish scenario. What's going to make us bullish over 10,386, 10,384 up to 10,500 would be fantastic. 9150 locally, 8,500, and then down to 7,800. If it breaks below 7,800, then we're probably going to go back down to 71, 7,200. So now the only other thing that we'll talk about is recently I've had this on my Twitter, but CZ and Binance supposedly having some shenanigans again with possibly manipulating CoinMarketCap, which they recently bought. And so regardless if this is true or not, I would have to get into deep research here that I'm not going to do, but multiple people have said this. The bottom line is this: anytime an exchange owns a platform for market data, there's going to be a conflict of interest, okay? Naturally, CZ and Binance are going to have a conflict of interest to make Binance look as good as possible. Specifically, if it says something on CoinMarketCap that it's not saying on other platforms that give market exchange data. Now, what we recommend is Nomics.com. This is not a paid advertisement. This is simply that we use Nomics each and every week at BlockRoots. So just know that it's got really every asset that you can find in crypto. It's got every exchange. It even has a list of dead coins that you can hit here. Dead coins, know that coins to stay away from that have had very little volume and very little transparency. There's a lot of different things. Inactive coins, dead coins, you can get into different exchanges and learn more about those as well. They even allow people to leave reviews. So a lot of good stuff on here, and it's all for free. And there's Clay Collins right there in the middle, but he's great. We know Clay. We've worked with him before. And again, this is not a paid advertisement. We just really like Nomics.com because they're transparent and their data is accurate in our own opinion. So check out Nomics.com if you can. Totally free to use, just like CoinMarketCap, but we feel like there's less playing around with the numbers here on Nomics. Now, with that said, again, that's it for today. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'd love it if you click the like button. Again, the more times you click like, the more algos will show people our videos so we can give a lot of good information for free. We'd love to see you comment as well so we can put you in the $100 giveaway. And with that said, hope you guys have a great start to your weekend. It's going to be nice where I'm at, so get outside, enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's nice where you're at as well. Make sure to trade safe and effectively, and we'll see you guys soon.